Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praise to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachahakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders at Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations as always to the elect. Another episode going into news and prophecy, linking the things happening worldwide to biblical prophecy. All right, so that you, the believer, can prepare yourself for the second coming of our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, and be in a right spirit, rooted in faith, understanding that this world has nothing to offer you and it's on its way out. All right, so the particular attachments you have to this world, know and understand that they're all temporal and prepare to be upgraded, okay, which means we're going to be in situations where we may have to be without particular comforts, but through it all right, going through this straight gate, the Lord, all right, is going to take care of those whose spirits are in the right place towards him through his only begotten Son. Now, yesterday in the news and prophecy, I posted, we talked about this situation where these monkeys were let loose and they could be infected with some sort of virus or disease. They left a gray area there. Well, now, those monkeys have been so-called recovered, and we showed you how that was predictive programming, because that was in a movie called, I believe it's called Outbreak. Okay. And we showed you how these devils, pretty much all of these things that they put in their movies, their books, their cartoons, all right, are nothing more than left-hand prophecies. Okay, yep, Outbreak 1995, if you want to watch that. And these things take place in reality, all right, as their way to say that they are the Most High God, okay? They said it would happen, and it happened, just like the Lord says. As a matter of fact, let's get that, okay, before they spring forth. I believe that's in the book of Isaiah 42. Yep. This is Isaiah 42:9. Behold, the former things are come to pass, and new things do I declare. Before they spring forth, I tell you of them. Now, how does the Lord do this? Via his prophets. Okay, but on the left-hand side, as they have a priesthood, they have their prophets, they have their monthly prognosticators and various different things that they use, all right, to try to put them in position to win as they're setting up this new world order. Okay, they do that as well. Now, going back to this point, all right, this is off of Dabu 7, and I have an article on it as well. Now, all right, a witness to the lab monkey crash, all right, has developed symptoms, all right. Other witnesses fled the scene, but there was a particular witness who saw the monkeys who probably breathed the same air. I mean, it's nothing but the same thing that went on in the movie Outbreak. Okay, and there's many angles to this that we can go. Like I said, the monkey could be representing Israel, but overall it's putting fear out there. And as the narrative of the taco sauce being forced ain't working, even though if you look at them, they're continuously with these, particular mandates and everything. Well, now they have more reason to say it's needed. All right. And I know we see the Supreme Court denying particular things, but there's going to come a point where things are going to be so crazy. They do have, all right, a particular method or a particular device that will cure everything. All right. And we'll get into that. But let's play this.
7. We have a big update here in regards to the situation where these monkeys got loose in Pennsylvania. We have the very first witness that showed up at the scene, reporting that she has now developed symptoms. They are not telling us at all what these monkeys were infected with. They were infected with something, that's for sure, because they didn't even want to go and capture them. They shot and killed all of them. And when we take a look here at...
I thought they captured him, but he's saying they shot and killed all of them. Interesting. This devil is something else, man. And we know that they use monkeys for experimentations. This guy, Falsey, all right, was cursed out for using transsexual monkeys. As a matter of fact, let's look that up real quick. Look that up real quick. See that? And he himself may not have been in there doing it, but they fund these particular projects where all of this evil is done, man. And they use the Lord's creation, okay, to just use as what lab rats. They do that to humans as well. All right. His department, I ain't gonna say his name, wants to make male monkeys transgender for research. So they take monkeys and change their sex. Then who's funding these things? It's always the same people, man. But behind closed doors, it's the elite of the world that fund these studies. This is what they do, okay? You can look up that story. I mean, because you say these things and Jake think you're playing, but these are the people Jake trust in. These are the people that General Yohana, Captain Tazariak are telling you Israelites to trust in. Matter of fact, let's see. This dude right here. And he walked up to one of the apostles' camps before. I forget his name. But let's see if it plays a commercial. You know how it does. See if it just plays it. Here we go.
Because it couldn't get uglier, you would think. Spending millions of taxpayer dollars on horrifying experiments on animals. No one benefits from this. The animals don't deserve it. This time he's been caught trying to create transgender monkeys. Again, if you wrote a screenplay with that in it, the key to beating Corona might be Viagra, your screenplay would be laughed out of the movie studio. In any case, PETA has been on this. PETA has discovered that the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases spent more than $200,000 on a proposed experiment that would, quote, subject male rhesus monkeys to feminizing hormone therapy to see whether that makes them more susceptible to HIV to help transgender women. Now, we wouldn't know about any of this if it weren't for PETA. Whatever you think of PETA, this is a service to the country. Catholic Jeremy was a scene.
There you have it. You can look that up on your own. But we know that they use these monkeys, all right, for all kind of purposes. So U.S. was first to send monkeys into space in 1948. Iran did it as well. U.S. was the first to send monkeys into space in 1948, and they didn't stop. They sent dogs, lizards, and many, many more of the Lord's creation to space to see how long they would live once they launched them. They view monkeys as good astronaut test subjects over the years. So to see how far astronauts may be able to go. Yeah. Who knows what these monkeys were infected with? Okay? Goodness gracious, man. I know, brothers, I know. And you sisters that's watching, this dude is absolutely crazy. But let's keep listening.
This Michelle Fallon, she's saying that her life is now a living nightmare. This woman is from Danville. She's now experiencing symptoms that she believes is related to her close encounter with these wild monkeys. She was right there as this collision took place. She hopped out, and what is very interesting is she says that there was other witnesses as well, and that they took off, They say they're working to try to find those people. So she has developed a cough. And then something that resembles pink eye.
The monkey cough.
They tested her for COVID, said she's jabbed up and all this other stuff. No COVID. So they gave her the first in a series of 4 preventive rabies shots, as well as a prescription for a 14-day course.
This nigga threw. This nigga sick from seeing a monkey. Now you got to take more jabs. Rabies. You don't know what the hell is going on, man. So just imagine where Esau can take this. Okay, let's say those people who fled the scene, eventually went and got on an airplane and went to California. One went to New York. One went to Texas. Now the new scare will be the monkey virus, man. Which they're not telling you what it is. But if you came in contact with these people, you're going to need these 4 shots, this medicine on top of the boosters and everything else, man. This is a goddamn mess.
Of another medicine here. And she's saying, what has happened? What have I come in contact with? How come there was not a hazmat, biohazard, something on this vehicle carrying this? This is the worst case situation that we could have hoped to expect for in this. To have someone come out developing symptoms right after coming into close contact with these monkeys. So,
oh man,
there's other people apparently that are in this situation as well. I will continue to monitor this. I want to get the word out there and let it be known that we can't have people running around out there contaminated with something of which we don't know. And obviously, this lady has something. Wild, I know. But this is the reality of the situation. Follow?
And there you have it. What did somebody say on the comment board? This sounds like something right out of a zombie movie. This is a crazy situation. And it is out of a movie. Straight out of the movie Outbreak, the very first comment. Okay? Outbreak, Dustin Hoffman in the 90s. Okay, and they always talk about zombies. They've been talking about zombies, okay, a whole hell of a lot over these last 3 years. Okay, so that's the article. Witness at scene of CDC lab monkeys crash has developed symptoms, man. So before this happened, they told you of it through what? That movie, Outbreak. But anyway, I just wanted to show you all that. And this fulfills the prophecy, and we're here. Mark 13:7. And when ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, right now the major conflict being spoken of is Ukraine and NATO, which involves America. Okay, which can, create friction with Russia. So we've been hearing of rumors of wars. All right, Iran's in the mix, China's in the mix. All right, there's all kind of tensions because that's prophecy. See, before all of this came forth, the Lord told you. He's just trying to play the Most High on earth. Even in one of their doctrines, on the left hand, they tell you it's going to be 3 world wars. But ultimately, the Lord told you that. Okay? But this devil, in order to get his NWO, he's going to need war. And the scriptures speak of woe, woe, woe. Okay? World War I, World War II, and then the final brawl for it all, Armageddon, man, in which that's where we're going to be delivered out of. But before that, all hell is going to break loose on the earth, civil war, rebellion against the government, all sorts of sickness and disease. And you feel it. You feel that something's in the air and the water. But as the Lord said, we're going to eat poison and live. And they've been trying to kill us off, man. And we're still here. Mark 13:7, and when you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, be not troubled. Okay, as the apostle said, you can't, when you see these things going on with war, sometimes you get excited like the end is here, but we know that the end is not yet. For such things must needs be, but the end shall not be yet. So just because you hear of the wars and the frictions and the tensions, And this particular country, put troops over here. That one, releasing troops there. Friction and the disagreements. They sit at the table. They act like they cool, then they disagree. The sanctions, embargoes that they put on each other to cut off trade and deals, and the divisions. Those will eventually culminate into World War III. Okay, those things will eventually become physical war that's going to lead to the end. But before that, there's a lot that has to happen, and it's happening. We're here. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be earthquakes in diverse places. We're seeing the earthquakes in diverse places, and there shall be famines and troubles. Okay, famines and troubles. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Okay, famines and troubles, and we see the famine. Okay, here and there, you're seeing more and more food shortages, and there's countries that are in all-out famine. Like over here in America, you on the cool, you're lucky to live and have access to what you have. But as these victuals are available to you and they're so dirt cheap, really what's happening behind closed doors is they're preparing a man-made famine. They're hoarding all of the resources to themselves. And when it's all said and done, you'll be begging them for a monthly stipend. Okay, they'll have particular jobs. This is what you can do for money. This is what you can do for money. This is your monthly allowance of food. And there's a system you're going to have to come under, which that's going to make them God. Okay, and what system are you going to have to go under? Well, we see it being formulated all over the world. Okay, and that's the MOTB ultimately. That's what you're going to have to do. Right now, slowly but surely, you're going to have the juice. Although there's disagreements, and the Lord putting the spirit on the Supreme Court to disagree, to block the mandates and things like that, for the purpose of this word still going out. Eventually, when it's all said and done, we're not going to be on the highways and the byways. These videos won't be on YouTube. It will be an offense to have any opinion against the government, okay, like in China, Russia, these various different places. They already got particular systems set up. But over here, the Lord has allowed the so-called spirit of freedom of speech to where this word can go out, because the Babylon the Great is where the bulk of the prophets would raise up and this word would go out. Okay. But anyway, it also says, let's see here. Pestilences. That's what I'm looking for. Luke 21:11, and there shall be earthquakes in diverse places, and famines and pestilences. Let's look up this word pestilences. Right here, this can really be them already releasing something into the air and the water in that area. Okay, but blaming the monkey, or the monkeys could have been just diseased on a whole nother level. Why didn't they just recover them? Why did they kill them all? Okay, what did them killing them, what did that release into the atmosphere? Limos, pestilence, fellow pest, plague. Okay, so we know pestilences is ultimately diseases, plagues. So we're witnessing the left hand at play. All right, now a lot of these pestilences are going to be man-made, but remember, the wicked are the sword of the Lord. Okay, that's the sword that's being sharpened. Remember, it was Esau, that red horse, that took peace away from the earth. Psalm 17:13, arise, O Yahweh, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. Okay, the wicked have drawn, Psalms 37:14, the wicked have drawn out the sword and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy, and to slay such as be of upright conversation. And right now we're living in a time where those who have an opinion against the agenda, they're setting up propaganda, putting out commercials to make you the enemy. Okay, if you don't want to put the juice in your child, there's a commercial a brother posted. All right, to where they're making you the enemy. Okay, I don't know if I have it up here, but yep. Now, I'm not going to play the whole commercial, right? I'm not going to play the whole commercial, but what's the title? All right. Rawai La Yashala Yahawashai is coming back 144K. It's the page. All right. Programming the masses for violence against the unjust. Now, when you look at this commercial, okay, this dude comes into the store and he says, you know, I don't want to get my child juiced. And this lady who's working there, you know, she start making a crazy face. Okay. And at the end of the commercial, as he's leaving out, look what she does to him.
Hey, Gil.
Yep.
See that? Meaning what? They're preparing violence against you. Although it doesn't make sense, the whole narrative is crumbling. They're preparing violence against you. You are getting ready to be labeled the outlaw. That's why we just read they've drawn out the sword. Now the sword is not just their their physical gun and their military might. Their sword is also their propaganda, their lies. Okay, and this anti-juicer term, okay, is what amongst all of the confusion and all of the the stuff they're getting caught out there on, that's still a thing. All right, and the thing is people aren't anti-juicer; they just don't want the juice in them. So it's becoming a mess, and they're getting ready to pull out all kind of unrighteous decrees. As a matter of fact, I had pulled up, and you can look this up on your own. You know, I'm not going to go all into it, but I did have pulled up this particular act that was passed into law by Bush, and that's what they do. You know, in these particular terms, they all, you know, do particular things amongst all of the propaganda they push, but they're doing particular things and passing particular laws and putting things on the books that are going to be used at later dates. The public, all right, the Public Readiness and Emergency Preparedness Act. Okay, and that's going to be used for that sauce. You're not going to be able to sue if you're, you know, if you're jacked up by what they're doing. Okay, and when it's all said and done, eventually they're going to have something that they can force on you. Okay, and it's going to be a worldwide mandate. Watch. So all sorts of left-hand propaganda is being set up by these devils, man. Okay, check this out. Let's see here. California school children, okay, must be juiced under a new bill. So they're going to make that amongst all of the other juices, okay? And that's going to be a part of their doctrine too. These people, these juicers, you know, because they know they're through, right? They're still catching stuff. They're through. So, you know, they didn't you take this or didn't you do that? Did you have polio? Do you have chicken pox? All this crap. That's a part of their doctrine because it is a religion, okay? But now, you know, they're going to force it on the children, man. But this one is the one that, you know, shows you this man's the devil.
Hesitancy and misinformation. New legislation would lift the parental requirement for preteens to receive any vaccine, including the one for COVID. Hello, I'm Reggie Aki.
And I'm Kristen Z. You're watching Midday Live on ABC7, Hulu Live, and wherever you stream. ABC7 News reporter Amy Hollyfield was in San Francisco this morning, where State Senator Scott Wiener began to push this proposal. He held the press conference here at Everett Middle School in San Francisco, which is in his district, saying unvaccinated kids make schools less safe. And he was surrounded by supporters, including the medical officer for San Francisco, Dr. Grant Colfax, and teenagers who support this bill. State Senator Weiner says there are 1 million California teenagers who are not vaccinated. He says that's not only a health and safety issue, but also takes teens out of some of their activities, like a sports team or a job that requires vaccination. The teens here say they are grateful for this. They believe this will make a huge difference in young people's lives now and further down the road for other vaccinations. Senator Weiner points out this lines up with existing law in California regarding other health decisions.
To be clear, California already allows 12 to 17-year-olds to make some significant medical decisions. 12-year-olds can already today go in and receive an HPV or hepatitis B vaccine without their
You know this dude's a sodomite.
parents being there.
It's been devastating for me to see so many teens live in sadness for a life-saving vaccine that the rest of us fortunate teens can easily get.
Shut your dumb ass up.
COVID is taking away their happiness and futures. And we can't ignore this crisis anymore.
We did ask, what about parents' rights to decide for their kids? He said parents mostly do get to decide for their kids, but it
Mostly do. You know what that proves? You don't own your kids here in the system of Edomite supremacy. We got to get the hell up out of here.
in this limited situation with the FDA deciding that this vaccine is safe, he says kids should be able to overrule their parents and get vaccinated. And he points out it might not be an anti-vaccination situation, just busy parents who haven't gotten around to it or they're
crazy. This is the crazy. I'm gonna just leave because all we're doing is playing the news. We're reading the news. Okay, that's it. So what's y'all opinion on that? All right, here it is. This system, a child can't drink, a child can't, this particular thing children can't do. But now, since your boy Biden got in office, now they can change their orientation without their parents' permission, and now they can do this. So as Marvin Gaye song, where are we going? What's the future hold? All right? And these are all foretelling of what's coming. Okay? And you're looking at it, although none of it makes sense, it's completely scattered all over the place. They're not going to stop.
Do you remember when the Bill Gates-backed Harvard University solar boys set out to block the sun? While more than 60 policy experts and scientists say it could spell the end for humanity, and stupid ideas like that need to be stopped. Billy Boy's boys think chucking billions of sulfur particles in front of the sun to block heat hitting the Earth to help climate change is a good idea. In an open letter, experts said planetary scale schemes designed to keep climate change at bay should be blocked by governments at all costs, as it would most likely cause monsoon rains in Asia and Africa, destroying crops and basically starving a load of people to death, and that solar geoengineering cannot be governed globally in a fair, inclusive and effective manner. Their words, not mine. The letter ended with a dig at the space trend billionaires saying they shouldn't be granted patent rights for these types of technologies. What else are they going to spend their money on?
So if you didn't understand that, there's a plan or a particular project funded by Bill Gates to spray all of these particles in the air to block the sun. China has an artificial sun that they're talking about putting out there. Okay, supposedly they put it out there. And since then, all sorts of wickedness, all sorts of eco problems have come. But when I was reading the comments on that so-called one in China that was put out there, that was supposedly like a jet or something different, not the actual new sun that they put out there. But either way it goes, the heathen are raging. Okay? And this is the people who you're following. These are the people who, General Yohana, again, when he's telling you it's okay to do to do that thing, he's telling you to follow the people who think like this. This would kill billions. He knows this. Block the sun. I mean, what in the hell is going on now? We know why. Truthfully, they want to block the sun. If those ordinances, let's get it real quick. Jeremiah 31. Okay, and we're just reading the news. Okay, this is not medical advice. All right, we're just reading the news. All right, you devils are crazy, man. And the standard American diet has everybody here all messed up. Now y'all so worried about everybody's well-being. Anyway, Jeremiah 31 and 35. Thus said the Lord, who giveth the sun for a light by day, and the ordinance of the moon and of the stars for a light by night, which divided the seas when the waves thereof roar. Yahweh, the Lord of hosts, is his name. If those ordinances, okay, depart from before me, saith the Lord, then the seed of Israel shall also cease from being a nation before me forever. So this is why Bill Gates wants to block the sun. One reason of many. And that's why they try to throw everything off course, because really they don't want the seed of Israel to come into power. And this whole thing is really aimed at us. All right. Remember, Israel is that monkey. All right. And on the left-hand side, there's going to be an attack on you. As a matter of fact, one of my favorite scriptures, okay, Revelation 12 and 17, and the dragon, okay, which in this chapter, the dragon is synonymous. It's a red dragon at that. It's synonymous with the Roman Empire, who was in power at the time that Herod came to try to destroy the Messiah from being born. See? And the dragon was wroth with the woman. Now, this is the revival of that dragon. That beast system, Rome was revived starting at the Renaissance period, leading all the way up to Babylon the Great. Okay? The NATO and the EU, this beast system, and they have the monetary means and the power to put anything, all types of stuff in the food, destroy the atmosphere, and plan to block the sun. That's one of just many enterprises he has going on, man. Okay, but what did the Lord say about their enterprise? As a matter of fact, let's get that. Job 5 and 12. He disappointed the devices of the crafty so that their hands could not perform their enterprise. This man got to go. Okay, so the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of God and have the testimony of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. Okay, and that's the remnant, turning from him. And by you keeping the commandments, which we teach to keep the commandments, by you doing that, you automatically should say no to everything that they're going to bring forth. Most importantly, the charagma, because that's the new idol, the modern day idol you will bow to as an oath to this particular God of this NWO, that fourth industrial revolution we talked about. So the remnant who are here prophesying against these particular idols and these things are going to be a nuisance. And we already are, but it's going to, just like in ancient Rome. Why do you think they kicked the followers of Yahweh Shai out of ancient Rome? Because ultimately there were too many people turning from idols. Okay, the gospel was spreading, camps were popping up everywhere, and they were like, hell no. So the same thing is getting ready to happen. And they're formulating the propaganda. They have the sellouts needed to do the false flags, and they're coming. Right? But guess what? There's a standard that's going to be lifted up when the enemy comes. And that's written in the Holy Scriptures, man. So you rest in prophecy, because we got to go through it. It's written for us to go through it. We just have to, that's why we got to lean on Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Nothing outwardly at that moment, because let's say you get tossed into a concentration camp, which they are here, all right, without your fringes. Then what you going to have to rely on? Your spirit. That's the only thing coming up out of this place, man. So this dude, these people are losing their goddamn minds. Okay? Oh, and they just had this meeting.
Really pick up the pace, and that
And who's there? Okay, look at those these so-called elitists. All right, and governors and right, what are they talking about? Accelerating and scaling up climate innovation. Meanwhile, Jake want to argue back and forth about fringes. Look what the enemy is talking about. And when they talking about climate innovation, there's too many people on Earth. Okay? We need to get a track on how much carbon people use. We need to get a track on this. There needs to be this only amount of people. This amount of people got to go. So what are they accelerating? Okay? Goals, they have goals that they want to reach by 2050. And now it starts. Okay? And they're not playing. So this devil is getting ready to lose his damn mind. And he's already losing his damn mind. Okay? Let's get the precept in Psalms, the 2nd chapter. Psalms, the 2nd chapter, man. And they're getting ready to fight against it. And it's already doing it. The Lord said he would have war with Amalek from generation to generation. They're preparing all-out war on the Most High, his son, the children of the Most High, and the people, creation in general. You know? Psalms 2:1. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? What they're doing, just based on what we've showed that they do with the creatures and creation in this one video alone. Transsexual monkeys, man. Blocking the sun. See, this is not something that we're making up. They're actually talking about these things. The kings of them earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against Yahweh and against his anointed, Yahweh Shai, and the people of the Lord. This whole system is an all-out assault and war on the people of the Lord. Okay, and the Most High, his son, and the people of the Lord. This whole system of Edomite supremacy is a war against that order, man. Let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh. The Lord shall have them in derision. You see, because there's a particular way Israel is made. Okay, when it talked about how Adam, was formed from the dust of the ground, the particular elements and the way we have a way that we interact with the earth and the earth interacts with us. And Esau knows that. So he makes sure there's all sorts of things in the air, the atmosphere and the music, the frequencies to just destroy us. But the beauty is that there's no enchantment against the elect. There's enchantments in everything that can be used against you as an accusation in the food. Even when you think you eat lawful, these things can be used as accusations against you. That's why he's known as the accuser of our brethren. So there's stuff in the food, the water, clothing that works against you. But here it is. The Holy Spirit was able to overcome all of that, man. This is Numbers 23 and 23. Surely there is no enchantment. And this is when we were in the wilderness on our way to the promised land. And we're in the wilderness all over again in spirit. Jake rebelling. But what was happening in the wilderness? These nations were like, what? We got to put cast a stumbling block or an enchantment on them to throw them off of their course. Okay? And why do you think young Jeezy, let's just look that up real quick. Real quick. Hold up. Is it Jeezy or is it Jay? I ain't listened to him since that Snowman in college, that Snowman album in college. All right, here we go. This is all hip hop. Yeah, basically, you could just look at it. Jeezy and Jeannie allegedly plan to raise child as gender fluid, meaning when the child gets older, then the child can choose its sex. But we're not going to allow this world and the terms dictated by this world to label our child. The child's going to choose what they want to be. Now, you notice they're using Jake to push all of these perversions. Jim Jones, my mom taught me how to tongue kiss. Will and Jada, the open relationship, the buck breaking of the man. Steph Curry. All right, they're using Jake to push all of these perversions, and they always have. These are enchantments. But see, the elect, those enchantments ain't gonna work as an accusation against us. Because why? Of our inward man and our true intent. Surely there is no enchantment against Jacob, neither is there any divination against Israel. And that's of the elect. According to this time, it shall be said, Jacob and Israel would have God wrought. And ultimately, that's what's going to be said when the elect are beamed up. All right. And even the Jake, the wicked, they're going to eventually have mercy. That's the beauty of our Lord. They're just going to come back in a particular order. They ain't going to be of the hierarchy. All right. But they're going to have the new bodies, the laws written in them. Okay. And they're going to be blessed. This was this movie was just, everybody was just chosen for their lot in these times, man. But let's see here. All manner of enchantments are being thrown against you, Jakes. Oh, another thing. Okay, you're seeing all of these celebrity deaths. Celebrities' children are dying. Now, it all popped off low key in January with Sinead O'Connor, 17-year-old son. And you can do 7 minus 1. I like to do, I'm a little bit into numerology a little bit. I'll be noticing the numbers they use, but 7 minus 1 is 6. So Sinead O'Connor's son dies, all right, of a parent suicide, right? Then Regina King's son died of a suicide at 26. Okay? Regina King, and you've been seeing her a lot more lately. And if you look at a lot of these Jakes, there's always some death that pops up, all right, surrounding them, and they're upgraded. Okay? Because these are sacrifices, man. And there's a video I was watching that goes into this, kind of, all right? Because she was talking about how she had a role. This page right here, he does some pretty good videos. Black Balloons. All right, just watch that video. You'll see. Basically she had a role that she took where her son passed away in the role, and she was like, it took her 6 months to get ready for it. These people are sick, man. These people are all a part of something on the left-hand side that is very powerful in this world. Okay, and when you read the comments, it talks about how, let's see here, all of these unexplained deaths. There was one, oh yeah, this is said there's another old video I saw of her in an interview discussing her and her son's matching tattoos when they were studying the religion of the Kabbalah. And we know what the Kabbalah is all about, who includes blood, rituals, sacrifices, and so forth. So they're putting it right in your face, because here it is. Sinead O'Connor's son dies of a suicide. Regina King's son dies of a suicide at 26. And then Michael Madsen's son, not too far after, dies of a suicide at 26. You think this ain't a coincidence? You had the one that died at 17, 7 minus 1 is 6, and then you got the 2 more 6s. Oh, the 2-6. The Regina King's son was 26, Actor Michael Madsen's son dies at 26 of a suicide. Of a suicide, man. So what's going on? Wisdom of Solomon 12:3. For it was thy will to destroy by the hands of our fathers. Okay, they had to go and conquer the land physically. Both those old inhabitants of the Holy Land. And who was that? The Canaanites. This is Canaan. What do they do? And who's over there now? Amalek. And what are they responsible for? Pushing the vibration and the initiation rites that have to be done to get higher up in their order, in their world, because Esau is the end of the world. This is his world. This is his power structure. But the Lord gave it to him, whom thou hatest, for doing the most odious works of witchcraft and wicked sacrifices and also those merciless murders of children and devourers of men's flesh and feast of blood, with their priest out of the midst of their idolatrous crew. Remember, Regina King was at that weirdo, fashion, full of satanic symbol, the thing. Steph Curry were they're all initiated on the left hand and using Jake to push a whole hell of a lot of wickedness. Okay, even if these ain't sacrifices, something's going on. I just thought that was interesting. 3 child actors just die of suicide. 2 at the same age, back to back. 1 January the 8th. Okay, where Sinead O'Connor, you remember her? She old school, or he, or whatever the hell it is. These devils got too much going on, man. But at the end of the day, we'll read a few more of these articles. Take only what you need. DC asks people to limit supermarket purchases as empty shelves persist, and that's only going to grow. You may live in a part of the earth where it ain't really hitting yet, but it's coming. Okay, Meta has built an AI supercomputer and says it will be the world's fastest by the end of 2022. Proof that Facebook and all of these various different, companies, they're CIA owned and operated, man. How can just a social media website have the power to do something like this? No, they're coming with something, man. And when you look up that word forehead, in the Greek, it's metapon. Meta. All right? So the scriptures were on point 100% when it said what we should be looking out for. And it's here. Okay? It's here. You could just read that title on your own. Plan to charagma as many people possible under the guise of revealed new cryptocurrency system controlled by elites. So you look that article up. All you would have to do is pause this and type in what you see here, And I actually seen this yesterday when I looked at that site, but I didn't want to go too deep into it. But Western Australia says passport mandates could last for years. COVID camps. Christianity being outlawed in Canada. Pastors will be in prison while the government promotes alphabet, pedo, and exploitation of children. And this is the NWO. Okay? And many pastors are already selling out. They're scared. So what does this mean for the Israelites? While you're sitting up here arguing about fringes, what's coming? What's getting ready to happen with true believers of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai? True believers of even the Torah only. What's getting ready to happen? Because if you believe the scriptures, you're going to be against all of this stuff they do. So as the Apostle Tahar just did a video, what manner of person ought you to be? So with that, I'll just leave it there, man. I'll just leave it there. Hopefully, I edified. On to the next. Shalom.